Nigel, you must be delighted with that victory today and the way the boys responded after losing Avery to the second yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it's today's result was going to be always more important than how we played. But right from the start, I think we showed a lot of commitment to trying to play at a good tempo, which is not easy when you've played, a tough game at Sheffield United just a couple of days prior to that. So that makes the point on Boxing Day even more valuable. The fact that we've been able to back it up with a home win, and it was certainly a game that we needed to do everything that we could to try and win it. So I'm really pleased with a lot of the concentration levels, the quality that we play with at times, the commitment of the players, and I think they showed an incredible unity on the pitch to find a way of winning the game when we had to deal with a bit of adversity in the second half.
When you're in this scenario, people like Deeney are invaluable, aren't they? I mean, he is just a fighter, a scrapper. He just doesn't give anyone a moment's rest, does he?
Question, or is it an observation of yours? I mean, look, he's an important player for us. He's an important player for us, and he brings qualities to the side that we need, and that is he loves the pressure. He loves the. He loves to be able to make a fight of a game, and I think today he's always a handful to play against. So he's still not at his best. The fact that he's been able to play a number of games that he has, contribute, score 3 goals in the last week, I think bodes really well for us, because he's a player that can occupy opponents really well. He's somebody who will ignite the fans, and he's a focal point, and he's also our captain. So all those things together mean that he's a very important player for us, but he has a role to play like everybody else. So although there are always going to be important performances in any victory, and he's played his part today. He took a penalty under pressure, scored the first goal, and played a really strong role for the team. But there's been a lot of other good performances out there today, and I think Troy would be the first to congratulate his teammates on their contribution as well. So for us to succeed in getting out of the situation that we're currently in, it's going to take a concerted effort from everybody, and that's why I understand how you want to phrase your question or statement or whatever it is, but for me, the context of where we are and how we get out of the situation is going to be based on the unity of us as a football club and all the players to play their part in finding the solution to the situation that we're in. So that's how I feel about it. I'm really pleased he's back fit, scoring goals for us, but I'm also pleased that we've got a squad of players who are prepared to put the bodies on the line like they were today. And when we had to deal with adversity in terms of having a player sent off, that we were still able to function well and even score 2 more goals.
Nigel, that's 7 points from the 3 holiday games so far, which is only 2 fewer than we had saw Watford getting in the entire season up to this. So I know you've been asked this before, but what on earth have you done?
What work have I done?
What on earth have you done?
Oh, what on earth have I done?
What about a fantastic difference?
Look, I'm a part of what I've just talked about. So please forgive me for not wanting to talk a lot about myself. What we do as staff, Craig and myself have come in to a situation where there's already a lot of very good people at the football club, and the important thing is to be realistic about the situation that you find yourselves in. Try and build the framework for people to work in and understand what their roles are. And then just be brutally honest to go out there and perform. I'm really loath to sort of overplay things. It's a start that we've got now, and we're trying to find a way of getting back into the pack. But if anybody involved with us at the moment thinks that we've cracked it, that's not how it works. There's a, you know, I've said in other press conferences that we're bound to have setbacks at some point, but we'll be more able to deal with setbacks if we show the right work ethic and show the commitment to doing what we're trying to do, and don't get over emotional when things go well, and don't get over emotional when things go badly. It's the situation that we're in will it's so necessary for us to show a level of calmness, and when I say calmness, to have a level, not detached, unemotional, but you've got to be able to deal with setbacks when they come, and you've got to be able to move on and reflect on why things go well and look to try and build on that. Now, you know, we picked up a suspension today, a couple of injuries today, and we've got players who are currently not available through being ill. So we know that it's not straightforward to now prepare for the next game, because we're going to play against a side who beat Man City with a really good performance themselves, and we've got to be, I think, first and foremost, recover from this, make sure that we are as in as good a health physically and mentally as possible. But we recognise that it's the next game, and it's now the most important game. And it sounds very overly simplified and very pragmatic, but that's the approach, and that's the way the season has to be approached, just because the circumstances make it necessary to do that.
Nigel, when you went down to 10 men today,
Yeah.
what was the message you sent to your players, and how pleased were you with how they reacted to that?
Well, we went to 4-4-1, and it took us a few minutes to get for the players to actually get it right. So when you've got players like Sarr and Deulofeu who are still going to give you the attacking intent, what you don't want in that situation is both of them high up the pitch and then be countered, because it leaves you a bit open. On top of that, obviously Craig Cathcart had a bit of a problem that eventually we had to take him off with. It was important that we tried to get the balance right between. I didn't want us to defend so deep that we invited lots and lots of pressure. So it's always trying to get that balance between having a structure to what you look like, but also still have enough threat on the field to go and make things happen. And yeah, I mean the second goal, there are a couple of talking points about that, but you know, I think we showed enough endeavour and enough quality to cause them problems after going down to 10 men. And so, you know, to come away with a clean sheet and win 3-0 is an incredibly satisfying result. But that's all it is. It's a good result, and for me now, I'm already thinking ahead. I'm not spending any time dwelling on this now. There's lots of good things about today, but we're going to have to recover pretty quickly from it.
Nigel, you mentioned there was possibly a couple of talking points on that second goal. I mean,
Yeah.
It looked like Matt Target was on the floor, Villa could possibly kick the ball out themselves.
Yeah.
Was that how you saw the situation? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Got nothing more to say on that. I mean, they had the opportunity to put it out, so why should we? No, I've got no problem with that. I think the other talking point is whether it was a penalty. I've not actually had a chance to look at it, and like I say, I suppose now with VAR, there should be a more clarity, but until I see it myself, I couldn't comment on the situation really.
Nigel, is it tough to take off a player that you've just brought on like you had to do today?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. So I mean, and I apologise to Chalobah at the time, and have done in front of the players now. But to be fair to the lad, he's got a real emotional attachment to this football club, and he understands. It's not. I would never do that to a player as a statement. It's because it was a tactical change, and it's a difficult one to do, just based on the fact that he's a really good lad as well. He's a player who, like I say, cares a lot about this club. So to have to do that so early in the second half, it's not an easy thing to do. But my job is to try and find solutions, and I thought that was our best one at that point.
Just appreciating that you don't want to really yourself. Could I just ask you one little question about yourself? You've known Christmases where you didn't have all this madness of football games every other day. Is it?
I've known plenty when it's been. I played one day and played the next day. I mean, I was asked the question the other day about what I thought about it, and what do I think about it? I don't decide what the games programme is. Is it good for the players? Not really. When we're talking about, we work in an age now of sports science and nutrition, and when you're looking at the margins of errors being smaller and smaller, these are the types of situations that we try to avoid in a training week. But what we can't do, I'm not going to spend any time moaning about it, because I can't do anything about it. So what we try and do is work our way through it. But for sure, what you're going to do, and we've done it, other teams will do it, you're going to pick up injuries, you're going to pick up problems just because of it. So, but the other side of it is we come out of a busy week with 7 points from 3 games. The players have been able to deal with it. I hate picking up suspensions and injuries, but again, I've got to be pragmatic about it and think about the fact that it's a difficult thing to deal with, but the players have just worked through it, and so will we.
From your personal point of view, is it much more fun being back in the mix of it, being back involved?
Well, looking at me now, you'd probably think no, wouldn't you, with my answers to questions? No, I mean, look, it's a real surprise for me to be back here working in the Premier League. I didn't expect it, I suppose, as in semi-retirement, but I'm back here now answering questions day after day and giving you the same old stock answers that you used to. So,
Nigel, one of the big moments of the game, Ben saved at 0-0.
Absolutely well spotted, yes. No, of course it is. I mean, I think we started the game very brightly. We looked dangerous, and they had a very good opportunity. It was a good header. He made an incredible save. So, outside of that, I think when you look at goalkeepers' performances, some of the best performances that you can get from a keeper are the ones where they don't have lots and lots to do, but when they do, they're absolutely decisive and efficient with it. And he's a very experienced goalkeeper. He has a, people want to talk about Troy. Look at somebody like Ben, who's experienced, but he's still got a real fire. He still has a drive and a motivation, which is, again, is going to be important for us moving forward, and that's what we need. There's some really big performances out there today, really big. I thought Will Hughes again was really good until he came. I thought Etienne Capoue was really. He had a great game for us. Lots of really good performances, and so all in all, the players have delivered what they've been selected to do, and that's really what we need moving forward.
I'm going to call Tony. Right.
So I was going to say, how
Yeah,
serious?
Pardon?
How serious?
We don't know yet. We don't know. It's his side, but again, we don't know. Hopefully we'll have some good news on it tomorrow. Okay? Cheers. All right.
Oi, you know what to do. Click the link over there, yeah?